I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? All right, Brilla, I believe this one is 79. It's over. Song that we did falsely, bringing things to a close. That's why I said bring things to a close this time. People are like, you're gonna do it. I already had my Jay-Z moment. I wasn't stopping rapping. I didn't think me and Nice Wonder were gonna work together. And I will say, had it not, Brighter Days is like Varsity Blues 3. Had I not been able to do Brighter Days, I don't know where I'd be in life. That was so healing for me. So yeah. You never know what's ahead. All you can do is, when you make definitive statements like final adventure is over, the last run, like the tour I'm about to go on, please get your tickets, murs316.com. If I'm in a city near you and you listen to this podcast, I really, really, really want to see you because I feel like you know me in ways that most people don't. I don't know if I'm going to be drinking on this tour or not. I don't know what's going on, but find out. I have a new drink. I didn't bring any today, but I'm new cannabis beverage called Lolly, which is a soda, super sweet, which is fine. I wouldn't drink it all in one sitting anyway, but making a little spritzer with some carbonated water and a little bit of cannabis, I find that beverage entertaining. So I may be drinking those on the tour, but who knows, man? If I'm drinking whiskey, let's get some whiskey. I'm going to use you guys as an excuse. Just dark liquor, no white. Fuck it. Whatever you're drinking, I'm drinking. Let's have a good time and send this, put a bow on this for now, because you may open it up again, like this final adventure thing. But I think a lot of things. If I could look at God's plan for me, like I was wrong. If I had stayed on the way I was supposed to go, this would have been the final adventure. But I fucked up somewhere along the lines. And who knows? Maybe I didn't. I'm one of those people that I don't like to have a lot of regrets. I have one. And we talk about that next week. This song was, we do the first song last, and I don't know when we did this last song, but it was one of the last songs we did.
What up to Finn the Human? What up to Jake the Dog? What up to my ex? I hate it when you call. When I said goodbye, you must have thought that I was kidding. I was so serious, I wasn't bullshitting. Did I forget to mention there was no take backs? But now you see me happy. I know you hate that. You could be happy for me. That would be sorta strange. But hey, yay for you. I'm glad you changed. I'm sure someone else will find it real appealing. But in my life story, you chose to play the villain. No hard feelings. I wish you much success. I wish we could be friends, but you're a fucking mess. And I don't need the stress. All I need is closure. Maybe I'll evolve, but that's when I get older. But now it's over. I told you kick rocks and keep your thirsty ass up out of my inbox. It's over, bitch. Like, don't ever call me again. Don't send me no more emails. You're not even cute no more.
The first verse is just about the ex that I, at this point, had written. We haven't talked about Remember to Forget and break up about. She would just find ways to weasel into my life. Like I moved to Tucson. I got a Tucson number, and she found that number. Not that she was like, she's not addicted to me. I think she could give, I don't even think she ever really liked me. But she could be a very spiteful person. So she and like for real hood, like, oh, that's cute. I seen you got married. Like, I'm glad you married her because you would have had to cut your hair if you was gonna marry me. I never walked down the aisle with that. And I saw that little cowboy suit you had on. Like, we asked people at our wedding not to post on social media, and they still did. It said that on the invitation. It said that on the fucking whatever program you get when you got to the wedding. I believe we went over there. It was like a Wild West amusement park in Tucson called Old Tucson. still someone fucking posted it on Facebook. For not that I gave a fuck. I'm not, like I said, she wasn't like stalkerish. Like she didn't want me. I just didn't need the fucking mental abuse. I wanted to be happy. It was a great, thing that I was doing, I thought. And having a great day. I was having a good time at the time. And here she came with the bullshit. Or would email me, and I was like, ugh. So it was just that, like, when I heard this, like, once again, Knife gives me the beat, it's just, it's over. I'm like, okay, what's over? This is over. We're over. That's the thing, too, is like, he will say that he didn't want to do the last record, and I don't know if he did, but he definitely made this beat for that. And I really love performing this. I love these drums. I performed this on the Final Adventure tour. I can remember performing it on at House of Blues.
I'd like to thank you on behalf of Ninth Wonder and I. That was our first song we made together. And it ended with a quote from the movie Old School. When that came out, Old School was new. And now Old School is Old School. And we were burying Blue in that movie. And now we're burying Mercer Ninth Wonder. It's over. This is our last record together. We want to thank you guys for supporting it. I think it came out in October or November. It came out in November. Forever. It's called The Final Adventure. They have it at the booth over there. And the last song on our last album is called It's Over. And I like to do that for everyone. And this is for everybody that watches Adventure Time. So it goes like this. What up to Finn the Human? What up to Jake the Dog? What up to my ex? I hated when you called. When I said goodbye, you must have thought that I was kidding. I was so serious, I wasn't bullshitting. Did I forget to mention there were no take backs? And now you see me happy.
I think this is the one where Dot opened up, where Black Hippie opened up. Because there's one time, as I talk about it next week, where Sean Price opened up.
Rolled up, Sean P. Bye. I'm saying, I mean, this is me. Big Bo, introducing what up?
House of Blues, I knew I was basically going to sell it out. I knew it was a lot of money that I was making that night, and I didn't really need it all. So I would try to put on people I wanted to see. And I fucking loved at that point, because he's still alive, Sean Price. And like the people's reaction is just funny, man. We talk about it next week, but yeah. Anyway, that's another reason I do the Flowers album. Like, give people their fucking flowers while they're here. I hate motherfuckers that are, posthumous, whatever, Doom and Sean Price fanatics. It's cool to respect them more after they pass because you weren't up on them. But to become a fanatic after someone passes and you've been a part of this culture for that long and you just didn't have what did Cat Williams say? Have your fucking, where was your antennas at, bitch?
Speaking of cockroaches, where was your antennas when them niggas was stealing my shit out the stove?
I didn't see him take anything.
You didn't see him take anything? Well, look next time.
Any hoodle. Yeah, just getting that off my chest. I forgot she emailed me another time. Got into it. Kick Rock's inbox, thirsty. Like those relatively, new, dated, hip terms. I was still kind of hip at the point. I didn't have any kids. I could be up on shit like rappers and slang. Because we'll get to 11 Rockets, and that's when I was out of it for sure. Oh, no, I was out of it a little bit. 11 Rockets. I was saying Kick Rocks is not new. But Thirsty was kind of new. Thirsty and rapping about inbox. Like, you could tell eras of rap. Like pagers, Thirsty inbox, two-way pagers, Motorola being mentioned. Like, just funny how rap dates itself in certain ways. And, I'm definitely observant of that. And that time, I don't give a fuck. Like, when Shakespeare was written, like, motherfuckers get into, like, don't date it. I'm like, why not? But if you're doing your job, motherfuckers should know what time you're, or motherfuckers are really into being timeless, I guess, too. The music being timeless and you mentioning the time the music was made doesn't make it not timeless, if that makes sense. The name of the subtitle, that's the parenthetical title of this podcast.
Maybe I'll evolve, but that's when I get older. But till it's over, I told you kick rocks and keep your thirsty ass up out of my inbox. It's over, bitch. Like, don't ever call me again. Don't send me no more emails. You're not even cute no more. This is the last time. It's over, friends. Never been done before, never done again. Y'all already know how much fun it's been. So party on and we catch you on the other end. This one's for you.
Love that I got Ninth on the hook. It's over, friends. Never been done before, never done again. Like 5 albums, same rapper and producer. I think this is where we officially, I don't know where Guru and Preem were at, but like, you know, just it never been done like that. Where we weren't a group. We didn't tour together, but we consistently made music together and still have consistently made music together and maintained a relationship, even though I'm sure for him it's challenging for me to be friends with me. Yeah. And there's a lot of mumble mouth parts on this if you're listening. And maybe I'll evolve, but that's when I get older. And I don't need the stress. All I need, like, you just, and there's another where I get tongue tied. And of course, this is the first take, and he makes me keep it. And you can hear that. Pisses me off. But no one gave a fuck. This wasn't a platinum hit. Not yet. Who knows? Maybe someone will make a TikTok, it's over dance. But if we have Finn the Human and Jake the Dog, the fun that never ends is Adventure Time. I just got obsessed with the show because I was just discovered it and in the hotel, and I was like, oh, this is great.
Adventure time, come on, grab your friends. We'll go to very distant lands. We'll take the dog and Finn the Human. The fun will never end. It's adventure time.
You know, I never watched regular cable. Fuck. Oh shit, this is funny. Cartoon Network, man. I was like, who the fuck thought of this, man? And it's like, I like continuity. Like, it's not just a cartoon. Like, there's to me, it's not, the episodes don't build on each other like I wish they did, but there's some form of continuity. And there's all these crazy characters, the Bubblegum Princess and BMO and the Ice King. And, oh man, that show just, I was enamored. The Enchiridion.
If you want the heroes Enchiridion, then slay this unaligned ant.
Never.
So I think I may have been one of the first rappers to shout this out. Kamani will correct me, or somebody in the nerdcore scene will probably correct me. But November 11, 2012, was anybody else shouting out Adventure Time? I don't know, but like there was a show for Rock the Bells where I came out, and one of those ones where I ended up on the main stage and I wasn't supposed to be. That's how little ego I have. Like, I know I'm good at what I do, but I don't give a fuck what people think, so I don't get nervous. And they like, my partner one time was like, I forget who it was this time at this last time, but it was like, he was just came to the pay due stage, one Rock the Bells, and was like, hey, Nas isn't going to get here till later, or he canceled or something. He's supposed to be on right now. Can you go on right now? I'm like, huh? Sure, I was just hosting my own stage that I curated, but I'll get in this cart. C-. Shout out to him from Fantastic Four, and now he does Be Real's Twitch stream, Dr. Green Thumb, I think it's called. Because of him, I got to open for Deftones, which meant a lot to me. I love the Deftones. And that's the line. I didn't give a fuck. He was like, you want to rap? Yeah, I'll rap in front of Deftones fans, Willie Nelson fans. I don't give a fuck. I know I am good. I'm a performer. So like, yeah, cool. C- has your, says he has a couple of your instrumentals. Cool. Me and C- haven't practiced. We haven't performed together since 2003 when I opened up for fucking the Deftones with him. But cool. He's a friend. His son is so dope. He's a dope producer, by the way. He changed his name. He used to be Originus. I'll find something from him, but his beats are slapping. Representing Bakersfield. I'm going to be in Bakersfield as well. It's coming up in May, late May. So get your tickets at Tremblers. Yeah, he really just put me on the spot. And I think I rocked it. I killed it.
H-U-S-T-L-E. A lot of people want to knock what we do on my block, but we do what we do, cause we ain't got a lot. And you might get shot if your tongue's not blocked, cause dudes walk around with hand cannons in their crotch, fucking up the way they walk on the strip like scotch with the top-notch box that can cook clean watch.
Cause I don't care, but it's like a moment where I was like, oh shit. And then I think I knew I was performing this time, Rock the Bells, but like, it was like later in the build than I should have been, maybe, I feel like. And I was like, fuck it. And I just came out. And maybe just like, yeah, later on the main stage. And I was like, oh shit, main stage, Rock the Bells? Like, okay. And it was, before my career was really, really established with the Rock the Bells community. So, but it just gets me out of my jit. And I came out and danced. Like when that song comes on in my house, the Puffy Ayumi, whatever version, because I love Sibo Mato and I love like Japanese pop punk rap. I love whatever that shit is that Puffy Ayumi and fucking Sibo Mato did. So I just rocked out and like skanked and like just toe touches to the Teen Titans theme song in front of like a hardcore hip hop crowd, 10,000 hardcore hip hop fans. But people reacted to it and they were like, I'll never forget that. And so like, I was like, okay, there's some of us that watch cartoons. So me putting Finn and Jake at the beginning was kind of an homage to that and what I was watching at the time every day. I didn't have a DVR in the hotel and it wasn't at the point where you could watch on your phone yet. So I was really trying to get home and catch Adventure Time every day.
What up to Finn the Human? What up to Jake the Dog? What up to my ex? I hate it when you call. When I said goodbye, you must have thought that I was kidding. I was so serious, I wasn't bullshitting. Did I forget to mention there was no take backs? But now you see me happy. I know you hate that. You could be happy for me. That would be sorta strange. But hey, yay for you. I'm glad you changed. I'm sure someone else will find it real appealing. But in my life story, you chose to play the villain. No hard feelings. I wish you much success. I wish we could be friends. But you're a fucking mess. And I don't need the stress. All I need is closure. I maybe I'll evolve, but that's when I get older. But now it's over. I told you kick rocks and keep your thirsty ass up out of my inbox. It's over, bitch. Like, don't ever call me again. Don't send me no more emails. You're not even cute no more. This is the last time. It's over, friends. Never been done before, never done again. Y'all already know how much fun it's been. So party on and we catch you on the other end. This one's for you. So party on and we catch you on the other end. What up to Rhapsody? What up to Absol? He went on paid dues, so I'm an asshole. I really wish I could put everybody on, kid. You don't like it, motherfucker, get your own shit. That's what I did, and it worked for me. And now we working on our 8th anniversary. So do you know what today is? It's the day you get up off your ass and make yourself famous. I don't owe you nothing, why you got your hand out? Why would I put food in a grown man's mouth? Ain't my fault your career didn't pan out. When I ignore you, then you wanna go the stand route. When your family outnumbers your fans, and you've been trying, giving all that you can, it might be time for your ass to change plans. Homie, it's over, you just don't understand that it's over.
It says word up here on Rap Genius. It's what up. And it says what up on the first verse. Who does it? I remember when I used to I am personally responsible for inputting at least 2 albums worth of E40's lyrics onto Rap Genius. Because back in the day when it was Rap Genius, Absol, it's funny enough, Absol introduced me to them and had the Rap Genius mansion. When he says he invented basically whatever he says about him being the Rap Genius, whatever, it's him for real. Like Rap Genius bought a mansion and started inviting all kind of rappers over there and like everybody be hanging out. And I had a wife, so I was kind of like, I'm not really, and I was older. I was like, I'm not really supposed to be here, but I'm here for the rap nerd shit. And I met one of the guys that started it, and he gave me an account, told me how to. So me and Absol were trying to outdo each other on points and like annotate things, and I was annotating and inputting the E40 lyrics. What up to Rhapsody? What up to Absol? You ain't on paid dues? Yeah, what I didn't do is like people think that I was talking to them. Those are 2 people that I believed were the next big things in rap. This is 2012. This is before Control System drops. I think this is before Rhapsody, who just won a Grammy. Shout out to her. Woo, woo, woo. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh my goodness. How can you describe the feelings you have right now?
It's hard to articulate. Just overjoyed. I'm proud of myself. It's affirming for me, but I'm proud of my team that they get to celebrate this because they worked so hard. I did the art, but they poured into it to make sure that it was given to the people and received in a way. You know, I'm happy that I got this with Erica and S1, 2 people that I love. It's just a beautiful time, and I'm full.
So happy for her. She does the intro to this album, and I'll mention her on outro. I just really wanted to push her and Ab. You know, I think this is Ab and I had just got off the road together maybe this is right after Control System. But he had a Pay Dues tattoo. I think as does Curtis King and Noah James and 60s, a couple people that I'm honored, and I remember that. Not as an ego thing, but as like just wow. Yeah. Humbly honored. So Absol got the Pay Dues tattoo like in Seattle on the Pay Dues tour. So I definitely wasn't shitting on him, but people started thinking that, and he'd be like, no. And I was like, I could have done that better. But once again, like I write 2 songs a day. We have 5 days to do this, and he's rushing me through this song. First takes. And then when we get on later in the thing where he's not engineering my sessions, I didn't like it as much. No disrespect. Like Heather Victoria, Ruben Vincent, and Rhapsody engineered a lot of Brighter Days and Crisis. And Iliad is Dead, which is an honor, and I love them. But like, since we don't tour together, we don't perform together often, I think I liked it. I liked it him. But I don't even know if anyone that's not an engineer likes engineering takes for rappers. Shout out to Jesse. But even a lot of the shit we use when you hear the first single, which should be dropping soon, February 21st, God willing. When you hear the first single for the Love and Rockets 316, the first 2 singles are one take, me sitting right next to Jesse in the control booth, not even in the recording booth, and a handheld mic, just doing the vocals for these songs. Roughs. And as we redid them with an engineer and still at his place at his studio, but in the booth with the special microphone and outboard gear chain. We had all we went through a lot for this album. And as you guys prepare to hear the first single, it's a good time to talk about it. Like, I saw 40, who does production for Drake, posting when Certified Lover Boy came out, and honestly, I don't even know if I heard the whole album, but I saw him post the notes, like just how much like people were shitting on this record, and the cover was a bunch of emojis, and people like to shit on Drake even pre They Not Like Us shit on Drake. Never was me, never will be me. I'm shitting on any artist. I try not to, at least publicly. I have my opinions, but especially black men, like we have it hard enough without us beating each other down. But I understand. I love and respect both of those individuals, and what had to happen, I guess. But I'm a hippie. I'm a vegan. I want peace. Everybody be at peace. So I respect both of their arts immensely. But when Drake dropped Certified Lover Boy, I was like, oh shit, checking it out. But I was looking at the social media post that 40 did, and he just had all these notes and intricate things that people don't hear, even with the diss songs. Like, I don't know how much they seem to come out pretty fast, but like these producers and these engineers put a lot into these records that we love, and all we do is talk about the lyrics or the beat slaps. Well, you're not talking about how the snare was panned and like the fucking wall of sound, Phil Spector shit. Like, and when I saw that 40 does that type of shit for Drake, even though his fans listen to the shit on the phone, and he had these extensive notes and like tapes from the set, look like the Beatles shit. Like, that's the musical nerd. Like, you take your production and engineering as seriously as I take my rapping. Like, seeing DJ Quick with the outboard gear, like, I love that shit, man. And so me and Jesse have been gearheads since the very, like, we were 15 years old, and I'm like, I saved all my money, and my mom helped me get this Gemini mixer with the 8-second sampler. Your parents got you the Fostex 4-track. I'll bring I'll just leave my sampler at your house, my mixer at your house. You just try to make beats. I'll bring you records from the record fairs. You look for the samples. Like, we've been doing this type of shit since we were 15. And so when I saw that, I was like, I want someone I was already had my last album in my head for the last 5, 6, 7 years. But I didn't know when or where. And I was like, pandemic hit, that pushed things back. But I knew it would be Love and Rockets 3. I was going to leave Love and Rockets dead after Love and Rockets 1. I was going to walk away from all this shit without even finishing the trilogy. And we'll talk about that more when we start next week. But I planned it from as a trilogy from the start. And then as time went on, I was like, man, fuck that. Nobody gives a fuck. The album didn't really sell like that. Like, motherfuckers ain't waiting on it. It ain't fucking Return of the Jedi and shit. You know what I mean? But when I announced, I think I hinted at it online, and people were like, wait, a couple people were like, we didn't get Love and Rockets 2. What the fuck? And so then I started Love and Rockets 2. Then after 2, I kind of wanted to have 3 ready, and then like the pandemic and all that other shit. So I was like, fuck. All right. And I don't know who was going to produce Love and Rockets. I still didn't have a producer. And then I was like, aha. When I saw those notes, I was like, Jesse. And Jesse has been doing, like, we talked about it here. Chandelier for Sia, The Head and the Heart, which is a rock band, Kelly Clarkson Christmas album, Sia's Christmas album. Like, he has pop hits. He has songs with 2 billion streams.
Party girls, don't get hurt, can't feel anything. When will I learn? I push it down, push it down. I'm the one for a good time call, phone's blowing up. Ring on my doorbell, I feel the love, I feel the love. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Turn back till I lose God.
But we started in the basement. He did God's work. He did I Know. What do you know? I know. He did Okie Dog.
Once upon a time there was a one-man gang who never ran from anyone or sold cocaine. OGs in the city all knew his name. So here's a little story about the gang that he claimed. The hottest nigga I know, he from Okie Dog crib. When he get up out the pen, better hope he don't trip. Teriyaki up pastrami, he was always in some beef. A legend to this day, they talk about him in the streets. It's not a real hood, it's something that he made up to piss gangbangers off, cause he never gave a fuck. He wore white pro wings with pink and green strings and dare anybody on the shore to say a thing. Seen him knock a lot of dudes out with one swing. By his side, he always kept the baddest bitch you ever seen.
We've been making music since we were 15 and like sharing gear stories. Even like now there's this new, the little whatever thing. We both got in line to buy the Orchid, the new keyboard sounding thing. And he got through and I didn't. I entered the wrong credit card one number off or something like that. And I fucked up and it sold out. But he got one of the first 1,000 of those. Like, we've just been on the cutting edge, caring so much about music. So when I saw 40's notes, I was like, this is it, bro. I called him and he's like, and that's when he was like, I was like, what's up, bro? He picked up and I was like, man, I'm just looking at this 40 thing. I'm doing my last album. I want you to do it. Do you have time? Because he's fucking wildly successful. And he's like, yeah, I'm in Portland right now doing this shit with The Head and the Heart. I just walked out to take your call. I walked out of a session. I was like, oh shit, you're doing indie band? Like, and he's like, that kind of like, he's like, no, they got like 3 million monthly listeners on Instagram. I'm like, on Spotify. I'm like, oh shit, still doing, you haven't talked in years. We haven't talked since his wedding. So I'm like, oh shit, you're still doing huge things. Now I really want to know, do you have time? And he's like, yeah, I'll make time. And so it was like Tuesday and Saturday for 2 years. We did 2 songs a day. And I think you guys are going to get the 13 ones we feel are the best. But it's something about being in the room. And when Ninth, especially when you don't have the touring relationship, and me and Ninth don't have the history me and Jesse have, but still, like, I would have loved it if he would have been engineering these, but no one really likes it. You know what I mean? If you're a producer, I feel like. What up to Rhapsody? What up to Ab-Soul? You ain't no paid dues. Back to that. Could have wrote it better. Who was it about? Couple people. Not the same knucklehead I was, but there was one guy who I've known for years. I knew where he lived. So this motherfucker started saying blah, 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 paid dues this on Twitter. I said, all right. God bless this dude now, but pulled up. Pretty sure I saw his car or something that showed he was there. Knocked on the door, he didn't answer. I called him. I said, look, my nigga, cuz I'm outside. You post something again about paid dues again, I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. Keep my festival, keep my name, keep everything out your motherfucking mouth. I'm not playing with you, man. Like, you could have your opinion. That's cool, bro. That's really cool. And if I've never helped you out, cool. Like, there are people who are talking shit who've never been on it. Talk your shit. That's why I go on later. Like, get your own shit then. I see why you're mad. I can't, bro. I one of the first hip hop festivals. Say what you will. Like, Flog Gnaw wouldn't be what it is without I feel like my inspiration, and I think Tyler acknowledged that, and he poked me a couple times. I'm not shitting on Tyler, but like, for me, it did start like he has 3 stages packed of different like headline type talent. I just wanted to put so many people on that I thought were deserving. There weren't enough space for the 60 Easts and D1s and Black Hippies and all those early on Lil B's, and like, if I only had 1 stage or 2 stages to deal with, I encouraged my partner and went to bat for 3 stages. And then booking it so everything didn't conflict. Because people are like, how are you going to put that? I'll make sure Mobb Deep is playing the same time as Trinidad James is playing so that you're not torn. But making tough decisions is good. It's fun. Like, I remember going to Coachella and my friends that were into that type of music making tough decisions. I was just rolling like, cool. I don't know, Rilo Kiley, whatever. I don't know who this person is, that person, but I'll just roll. And they're like, fuck, I really want to see this person. And I really want to see this. Like, that's dope when there's so much dope music. You feel torn during your day or you walk from, see half of a set. Like, those are privileged decisions and just tight spaces to be put in. But I fought for that. But if I still didn't get to you and you're mad, cool, get your own shit. But if I've worked hard to make sure that you've been on a couple times and I broke bread with you and especially when you've never done anything for me and then you talk shit, I'm on your motherfucking ass. Publicly, even privately, you can still talk shit. But when you go into a public place where I'm doing business, like that's our street corner, bro. Don't come on a corner saying I'm not about my work. Nah, that's what we're not going to do. Sometimes when I get really crazy, I call my mom. If my mom has saved me, and maybe other people would definitely save me, because who knows how it would have turned out from really wilding. Like, yo, mama, this nigga said blah, blah, blah. And she'd be like, let's pray, and this is son. Like, that's what I don't miss about Paid Dues. And this is the 8th anniversary. And it's for me also, too, like, God will fix you. Like, I'm bragging, and Paid Dues did not happen after the 8th anniversary. I was glad because at Paid Dues 7, it started to be too much for me. By Paid Dues 8, I had to have a security guard with me just because I had my baby with me. I had a baby and I got a picture of my grandfather, and you'll hear next week about my grandfather, some of his, I won't say negative influence, his influence and impact on my life. But him, because he didn't know, he's like, you're selling 30,000 tickets? I got to see this. And him holding my eldest child as a baby on stage at Paid Dues, somebody took that picture. That means everything to me. I didn't need another Paid Dues after that, but I definitely didn't want one. I prayed on that, and I was like, I know people get mad, but I really say it's for front facing, but I did not want it. It didn't feel as fun. Like from the first to the 6th one, it was fun. I would show up like, where's Mikey? Like Paid, like Cage, like all these people. Oh, R.A., what's up? Like, people I don't really know. Sean Price, like it was just like family reunion. And then it got to just a point where it was so many people and so much entitlement. And it also too just felt like it just felt too big. It wasn't what I wanted anymore. So I wasn't mad to see it go. But I'm looking at this like this could be, like I'm showboating arrogant. We're working on our 8th anniversary. But there was not a lot of ego in this, but I was just really proud of the hard work the whole team had put in. So many people's names who don't get said, Carla, Dana, Chang, like Jose, there's so many amazing people that work behind the scenes, and I'm missing names right now, and I hate that I start naming, but everyone who worked, Adam, KGB, we were a family. So when I say that, like, that's another thing too, when people shit on Paid Dues, like, you are shitting on the hard work of so many people you don't see, and I'm not fucking having it. Turtle, like, bro, fuck out of here, man. When you go on Twitter and slander something that we built over 7 to 8 years, I got lockjawed, like walking around LA with $25,000 cash. Like the first week, if you listen to we'll get back to it on Patreon. Sorry, y'all. But man, I put a lot into that. And just because you're not on it to do a 15-minute set, you're mad? Or where your name is on the flyer? Or I'm not giving you 15 people on the guest list? Motherfucker, I thought you were tough. Why do I need the police escort of 15 motherfuckers on the guest list? If you don't fucking stop, scary ass gangster rappers and all kind of shit. Woke ass motherfucker with too many bitches backstage, but you supposed to be a celibate, married, vegan, incense having motherfucker. Bro, so much shit. I'll be like, hey, y'all, there's not a day I wake up. I don't say not a day, but like sometimes when Sean passed, when certain people pass away, I'm like, fuck, I would have seen them a couple more times had we been doing Paid Dues. That's when I miss it. But 363 days out of the year, hell no, y'all. Then starts talking about rappers that are still trying to go for it at such an older age where your family outnumbers your fans and you've been trying to give it all that you can. I've seen Knife Wonder have that talk like with somebody like, man, what's up? What do you think of my beats? And I've seen him like have very odd like, hey man, God has a plan for everyone. I don't think this is God's plan for you. I was like, this is the coldest shit I ever seen in my life. Damn, cuz like, woo. And that was me trying to like, you know, I try to put some of his stuff into my stuff and like, man. But this was still more rapper and asshole-ish. But yeah. I love performance. So I'm missing. I wish people like this song more and would do it more. I'm trying to think, is there anything else in there? Why would I put food in a grown man's mouth, bro? Like so many people were like, I think I paid my big homies back and I acknowledged everybody that I feel I owe. And there's some people I can never repay enough. But mostly the people talking shit are the people that, most of the people talking shit are the people that never did anything for me. I book people who talk shit about pay dues. I pick people that hated on me. I pick people that I don't like their music. So when people complain and I went, like I said, to extend it to 3 different stages with, you know, over 40-something acts on one festival for hip-hop, I encourage that for Rock the Bell. Like me doing that set Rock the Bells up for that format. We figured up that format for paid dues. Man, like the shit that goes on and paid, like, bro, I get a call and it's like, we got to tear down the 3rd stage because it's angled and the people with the EP, when the right wingers talk about the EPA, this is where the EPA gets a bit over. There's a nest with 3 eggs in it from this bird, and we fear that the bass frequencies from your stage, this tree is, when they pointed to the tree, bro, I was like, this tree is way the fuck, might disturb the nest. Bruh. I'm vegan. Bitch, I'm a vegan. Bitch, I love animals. We have to tear down a whole stage. I ate that. So I was like, for you to get your little Twitter fingers raised, you have no idea. Just, man, you know what I rarely have is motherfucker. We were selling so many tickets, everybody could have been on the guest list. I rarely ever said no to a guest list. Backstage, I had to say no to some of my homies. You know, like, we talked about it, like, my homies are real gangbangers. Certain people like, yeah, hey, bro, there's dudes from different hoods back here already. But they're here to get money, so I think that, and I've talked with their camps, I think we're going to be good. But if I introduce my homies who have no money back here, they are going to trip. My homies that don't want to be rappers, because they're not probably going to trip on a rapper, but the rappers bring their homies that don't rap. And then that's when shit. So I was like, bro, so I have animosity from there, that real hood animosity that I'm dealing with. The niggas not getting backstage. And I'm sorry. And that's something I still struggle with. As some of these people are no longer with us, that sucked for them. Because they were for real, like as close as I get to day ones. And I had to be like, nah, but, you know, and they're like, you know, they want to impress bras. You know, to me, they've earned the right to be backstage. Like, when you hang out with somebody and like we've been in life or death situations together, yeah, if I make it, you supposed to have made it. I'm supposed to, and I couldn't do that for the sake of this festival because I have people investing in it that are nervous about the gangbangers on the bill. So I front on my own people. I take that. Like I said, and then you come out here with your Twitter fingers. When you don't rap, you haven't put out a song until right before pay dues, then you want to know why you're not on it. Bro, do this shit every day. Or at least been doing it for some years. Have some classics under your belt. When motherfuckers like Curtis King are doing a 60-day YouTube campaign, get his mother involved and all. Bro, you just supposed to text me and then I'm going to put you on? I'm finna drop a project. Could I get up? No, thank you, sir. But if you stay consistent, yeah, next year I got you. Like, there's rarely a time, bro. Anyway, I don't miss pay dues. Sorry if I ever offended you. Like I said, I'm at the age now. You got it, bro. I'm a bitch for not putting you on. Fuck me. I ain't never done shit. I'm a sucker. You right, cuz. Like, you got it, blood. Like, whatever it is.
So party on and we catch you on the other end. What up to the Beatles? What up to New Edition? The 2 greatest groups ever. Look, people listen. And if you listening, If you tuned in, it's been an epic saga. A tale of two friends, two men with a passion for their craft. Met in North Carolina and they started on this path. They had some laughs, made a lot of cash. They would fight a little bit, but they would put it in the past. And as time passed, they became brothers, and they never let the game make them turn against each other. One did beats, one did rhymes, and once it was complete, then they knew that it was time. They say that all good things must come to the end. The Wire, The Sopranos, Seinfeld, and Friends. That's all, folks. That's all that she wrote. It's over and it's finished. We gon' end it on a good note.
What up to the Beatles? What up to New Edition? Me and Knife would have great conversations about music. I don't know if we came to this conclusion or we started this conversation, but for white folks, it's the Beatles. For black folks, it's New Edition, bro. It's just like me and Knife love New Jack Swing, and we found out that a lot more people do when he started True School, and then definitely during the pandemic with Fast Auntie Lounge. If you haven't served Fast Auntie and all that stuff, please check it out. Guy was good. Guy is great. Teddy Riley is fucking amazing. Up until now, I thought I'd work with him on Merch for President. Turns out I didn't. But Teddy Riley's phenomenal. But New Edition? Like, New Jack Swing is not New Jack Swing if BBD doesn't hit. If we don't see the kids who did Mr. Telephone Man still looking like us and in touch with black culture, even after being a huge boy band, still being, excuse my French, still being real niggas, if we don't get to see that, like Guy was motherfuckers was showing Aaron Hall and they was showing their chest. They had on Versace shades, shit like that. Like BBD was like airbrush, like hip hop moved out of R&B tip, talking about booties and asses and smack it up, flip it, rub it. Like they were the streets, bro. But we don't get BBD if we don't get New Edition. And BBD doesn't mean what. If BBD just came out as a group that we never got to see doing Candy Girl, it wouldn't mean the same thing. Bobby Brown, Ralph, everybody in the group went on to have certified hit records. It's like Wu-Tang, like people, Wu-Tang, like, I won't say that I always thought Wu-Tang was a unique idea. Now we're talking about it. Is Wu-Tang just like a planned New Edition? Because New Edition, like circumstances and Bobby leaving the group and shit, like brought on that. But I wonder if I don't know, RZA's mind is vast and infinite and great peace to the God, lowercase g. But yeah, it's just like New Edition, bro. Like, I don't know if my life's the same without my.
So good.
Like, we don't get LSG without Johnny Gill. We don't get Johnny Gill without him trying out to take Bobby's spot in New Edition. Sensitivity? Ralph Tresvant? Just Ralph's voice in general? Even the Home Again album, y'all want front on New Edition. I still think they made great music on their comeback. And then the Beatles. Like, they didn't have the stigma surrounding black music. They didn't quite understand racism. Such an American export. They felt the pain of the blues because they were blue-collar, working-class white folks in Britain. John Lennon was a thug, from my understanding, while watching documentaries. So the pain of the blues resonated with them. They weren't rock and roll, early rock and roll weren't race records to the Beatles. They were just music, and we feel these vibes, bro. And we got instruments too, and they don't have the same disdain for African Americans as white Americans grew up with. There's not a lot of, the kids were born into it, like they just, and they had to sneak and listen to these records. These were just records to them, and they love the old blues shit. They love early rock and roll. They just play covers in Berlin of black American music. But it was their honest interpretation of something they had a connection through, I think, spiritually, but not culturally.
the reason why.
They related to the struggle. When you get into the history of Ireland and certain parts of the UK, man, like I get it. Kneecap, once again, if you haven't watched Kneecap on Netflix, go watch Kneecap.
Tell me something about you. Something you've never told anyone else.
I'm a rapper.
Speaking of Irish, please listen to Brother Ali's episode of the Travelers Podcast with B+. I haven't listened to it yet, but that was one of the first photo books I ever bought. And I'm about to put out a photo book with this tour called Tour Story about my tour during the pandemic and my homeboy Jay, who took all the pictures. Hopefully going to print next month, so we'll have that on the road if you want to check it out. But after that, it becomes a sham to me. Like the Beatles were the peak of like blending black and white, European and African rhythms and like the strings, the guitars and the drums. Like it's a merging of humanity's biggest cultures. I'm not trying not to use the word dominant.
Gonna write a little letter, gonna mail it to my local DJ. It's a rocky little record, I want my jockey to play. Roll over Beethoven, gotta hit it again today.
Coming together to create a beautiful art, it's a blend of African Euro, and it's beautiful. Two types of people who have so much conflict to have a sonic union like the Beatles, to me, if you acknowledge and learn the African American or African influence on them and you see it and respect it, you can hear it as like I hear it. And that might be grandiose, it might be delusional, I may be wrong about my music history, but that's how I found the Beatles, because of idea. I never, my mom was a Beatles fan, but she never played it growing up for me. She was part of like the boy band Beatles. Like she wasn't like, when I started getting into like how they recorded, how they would cut tape, how they would produce it, how the arguments they would have. Like when I started like reading the shit that went into that and their influences and them crediting black people, and I just kind of getting dismissed not by them, but by the other media and the record companies that didn't want to acknowledge that. They wanted to gentrify rock and roll. And they succeeded. I grew up thinking that I had no place in rock music. And when I tried to start my punk band, I was told that I had no place, basically. There's still not enough black rock bands, but if you follow Punk Black on Instagram, you could come up with some good music for people of color. The homie Memo, his sons have a dope brand. They're Latino young men, teenagers with an amazing punk band. I forget the name, but I'll shout it out next week when Memo reminds me. I digress. The Beatles are great. I'm not here for argument. The Rolling Stones fucking suck. They're great live, but there's no comparison. They were imitating, they were the first white people to have huge success, I would say, imitating or emulating or influenced by black. That was the first, it was black music directly into them, coming out of them, their interpretation. After that, it became them like a dub, a second generation. To me, the Rolling Stones are second generation. They're white people influenced by white people, influenced by black people. And maybe people could say the same about Shabuzi. If you don't acknowledge country music as being part African, maybe the black person that Shabuzi or Cowboy Carter influences the next person, and the only country music that this black kid hears is Cowboy Carter, and then creates a whole thing. But I don't say that because what I do love, the Rolling Stones give a lot of respect to the black artists that influence them. I just think they're trash. I've been trying to find a reason, and I argue with my father-in-law about it. And my old DJ. I love Aerosmith. So I'm not going to take the race out of it. I'm just trying to explain my disdain for Rolling Stones. I don't know if there is they just suck to me.
I said Elvis Presley ain't got no soul. Chuck Berry is rock and roll. You may dig on the Rolling Stones, but they ain't come up with that style on their own. Elvis Presley ain't got no soul. Little Richard is rock and roll. You may dig on the Rolling Stones, but they ain't come up with that shit on their own.
But like once again, like I read, like I think it was maybe it was for this album, and why I was so pissed. Because I was still buying, but not listening to rap while I'm recording and getting ready for the record, buying a bunch of records. And I read a fuck ton about Exile on Main Street especially, and a fuck ton about the Rolling Stones. And I bought the box set and I read everything. And then I put in the CDs and I was like, I can't listen to this shit. Like Satisfaction, all right, I could live the rest of my life without hearing one Rolling Stone song. I bought the fucking Blu-ray of the fucking, was it the Scorsese live document? That shit was fire. And then I went back to the CD and I'm like, I can't listen to this shit. I can't get jiggy with this shit. All in good fun. But yeah, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, George Harrison. They pushed pop music to places I don't know if it'll ever go again.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to strawberry fields. Nothing is real, and nothing to get hung about. Strawberry fields forever.
We were arguing this the most on this record too. I think we definitely, if we didn't need to make the final adventure, this needed to be a timeout. That's what we could have called this. We definitely needed a timeout. Hopefully, I feel like we're still brothers. I haven't talked to him in a few couple months, but I wrote him a nice letter for his birthday. But I feel like, yeah, like we're family.
What up to the Beatles? What up to New Edition? The two greatest groups ever. Look, people listen, and if you listening, if you tuned in, it's been an epic saga. A tale of two friends, two men with a passion for their craft. Met in North Carolina and they started on this path. They had some laughs, made a lot of cash. They would fight a little bit, but they would put it in the past. And as time passed, they became brothers, and they never let the game make them turn against each other. One did beats, one did rhymes, and once it was complete, then they knew that it was time. They say that all good things must come to the end. The Wire, The Sopranos, Seinfeld, and Friends. That's all, folks. That's all that she wrote. It's over and it's finished. We gon' end it on a good note.
Yeah, and I got to get out of here. So that's this week's episode. It's over, and we're gonna end it on a good note. See y'all next week where we get into Love and Rockets. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace.